What is up, everybody? Frankie Robertson here. I just want to go over doing a live, kind of a live session where the market is open, doing price trap strategy. I'm going to be showing you how to, throw the price trap on your charts, and then how to use price trap trillions, my software, on those exact same charts as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I have here, I'm just going to be showing you exactly what I've been doing, and I just want you to get some value out of it, and kind of show you and teach you exactly how you can be using this strategy, really with or without my software, but you'll see why price trap trillions is really so amazing. And I am not just some kid who watched a couple YouTube videos and decided to try and sell some crappy product. I have been mentored by six-figure traders, and actually multiple six-figure traders, and this is something that I think is really cool, and I'm gonna just jump right into it. So it is 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here in Victoria, British Columbia, where I live. And I have 8 forex pairs selected on my screen. And instantly you'll see why MT4 is more beneficial than using a phone, because you can watch multiple different things at once and kind of get them into view. And obviously, more than that, it's got way more options as far as it comes to trading, and executing trades quickly and without having to really like type in any values or anything like that, or type in pips. So I really enjoy it a lot because of that reason. It has one-click auto trading, as you can see. If you select one-click auto trading, you get this fancy sell and buy box that's on everything. So yeah, I've already kind of touched on that in some of my other videos on my YouTube channel, so make sure you watch those. I think they're extremely helpful, and yeah, it just kind of starts you off from the beginning, kind of from first getting MT4 to getting to the point where you're ready to price trap. Excuse me. That's actually my mom calling me right now, and my mom has actually been killing it. I taught her pretty much how to trade. She did make some effort into learning a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I taught her the price trap, and also using price trap trillions, and she's killing it. So if my mom can do it, she's 67 years old, you guys can do it. So okay, I don't want to blab on for too much longer, so let's get right to it. So I have my 8 pairs that I have right here. I'm on a demo account that I usually do all my videos and my tests on, if I'm testing a new strategy or what have you. So I have 3,000 in my demo account. I'm going to go ahead and open up my first pair, GBPUSD. I'm going to make sure that my auto trading is turned on. That's another very important thing. If you are not trading, get in the habit of just turning it off. It's just a good habit of getting into. Sometimes you can have issues with, if you're closing MT4 and opening it again, you may run into some issues. So if you are using price trap trillions or any type of auto trading like sell or buy or whatever, it's a really good idea to unselect this when you're done and select it when you want to start. So just a little tip there. So GBPUSD, we're gonna go head over to the 1 hour chart. On the forex for doing price trap, we are on the 1 hour chart, and we are at 10 p.m. on Pacific Standard Time, like I said. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a rectangle and I'm going to trap the consolidation that's happening. And this has been happening for the last, you know, it's really the last, you know, 5 or 6 hours is where I really look for. And I'm trapping the consolidation where it's truly consolidating. Obviously, this doesn't look like consolidation, and this is not consolidation, but this is indeed consolidation. The price is moving to the right, and it's moving sideways. It's what we call sideways movement. Now, you want to make sure that the top of your box is to the top of the wick of your zone, and pretty much to the bottom of the last wick. Now, you're probably going to have some questions as to, well, how many candles do I go back from, and you know, which wick do I draw it to, this one or that one. This is just going to come with experience, but as a general rule of thumb, excuse me, you want your trap to be around 30 to 40 pips. Excuse me again. If you middle click on MT4, you can simply measure and click and drag, you can simply measure your box or your trap that you've drawn. And in this case, it's 39 pips, because the digit to the right of the middle digits, or the last digit on the right, you just simply ignore. That could be the pipette or not, I'm not really sure. But for example, this is 22 pips, this is 20 pips, this is 45 pips. So getting back to what we were doing here, we are trapping about a 30 to 40 pip zone on a forex pair, GBPUSD, and the reason that we're doing this is because at 12 p.m. the London session is going to start. This means that there's going to be a lot of momentum and money pushed into the market by banks, institutions, the big players, etc. When that happens, the price and the candles are going to either break to the top or break to the bottom for a buy or a sell. Now, most of the people that I know using this strategy, which is a lot of people, are making great money using this, even though it seems incredibly simple, which it really is, and that's why I like it. They are staying up until 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, as well as I did when I first started doing this. And there's a problem with that. I mean, obviously you're catching pips and that's fantastic, but I was getting extremely exhausted and tired, and my sleep patterns were completely messed up. My my energy level dropped. I was going to bed when the birds started chirping, which really kind of messed with me and messed with my sleep cycle. And you know, my mom, who was staying up extremely late, and you know, shout outs to her, you know, she was just getting, you know, extremely tired, and it was really becoming a real problem for us to wait until these candles really started to move to see if we wanted to go in for a buy or a sell. Now, what we were waiting for is for the price to break out and then or retest this line, and then we were confident that it was a buy. The same goes for the bottom. Okay. Now, this takes practice, but this very simple strategy goes hand in hand with support and resistance zones. So the top line is the top of your box is your support, and the bottom is your resistance, okay? There's a mentor that I've been learning from. His name is Antoine. He's a fantastic trader. I learned this from him and another trader that is amazing as well. And the information has been passed down. And it's truly my favorite strategy by far. I know how to use Fibonacci. I know how to use, you know, a million indicators. I know all the bat patterns and the Elliott wave and all that kind of stuff. And that's really great stuff to know. It truly is, because the more you know, the better trader you are. Because if you can catch a pattern in a farther out view for more market structure, and you can see a pattern that's bigger than the scalp, then all the power to you. You know, trend lines are important, etc. You know, there's different strategies that I've used in a strong uptrend that work really well, just using trend lines and you know, harmonic X strategies and etc. But you know, all that information is truly amazing. But this strategy is, you know, it's easy and it's profitable. So what we are waiting for traditionally when we are doing this, or I'm doing it, or, you know, whoever, we're waiting for the price to break below, the candle to close, and then for the next candle to retest this area to prove, in this case, that this would indeed be the new resistance and the new ceiling. And in this case, it would indeed be the new support level or the new floor, indicating a buy or a sell in the opposite direction. So what I do is I do this extremely quickly at 10 o'clock p.m. and I simply press start and price trap trillions will execute on your chart. Okay, it's never going to be 100% perfect. You're going to have your presets and your preset settings in this area here, where you can adjust what happens when you press start. So for an example, if you don't want to use a trailing stop, make sure it's set to false. If you don't want to use money management, where it calculates your lot size based on the risk percent that you want to use on your account, then put false. If you say, hey, today I want to use a 0.1 or a 0.2 lot size, and I don't want it to calculate my lot size based off of my risk management, then leave it at false and select it here. Stop loss and profit, this is in points. So in this case, I'm doing a 25 pip stop loss. So it's 250 in this box here. My take profit is also 25 pips, and I'll get into why in a moment. And my trailing stop is just set to 0. It doesn't matter what value I have in here if this is set to false, because it won't engage a trailing stop. If you want a trailing stop, simply press true and then put in your desired value here in points value. The points away from the current bid and ask, this is how far away your buy stop and your sell stop are from the current price, okay? So you guys are fully able to customize all this stuff. It's totally up to you. I will be hooking you up with my favorite presets for the forex pairs and the US 30 as well. Now this next stuff down here, it's really cool. We just added, you can change where your start button goes. So you can move it to the corner right, the lower right corner, the lower left corner, right upper and left upper, and you can change some of the sizes, which is really cool. When it comes to slippage, I'm not really going to get into this too much because it's kind of technical. So we're just going to leave the base value at 3. and don't worry about the magic number because it's magical. Okay, so once we have that set up, I usually load my forex pairs preset, and like I said, I'll be hooking you guys up with that. And it is set to what I want it to do, and that's exactly what happened when I put it on the chart. Now, when I did put it on the chart, you'll notice that it was more in kind of this direction, this kind of a setup, and it wasn't exactly where I truly want it to be. Where I truly want it to be is I want my buy stop to be around 7 or 8 pips above my resistance line, above my trap. The reason for that is I want to consider the spread, and I also want to make double sure that it's really kind of going in this direction. The spread is important. If it's here, this candle could come up to about this area here, and you could get picked up for that buy because the spread is going to pick you up for the entry, how much you owe your broker. So you want this to be at least, I've been experimenting with 7 or 8, and it seems to be working fantastically. The same in the opposite direction. You'll also notice that instantly when you push start, your take profit is exactly what you set it to in the properties window, in this case 25 pips, right there. And my stop loss is 25 pips. The same goes for in the opposite direction. So if you're not sure what these lines mean, that's exactly what they mean. The beauty behind this is that if the price does indeed break out of your trap, let's say in this case, the sell direction, because that's what looks like is happening, although we don't know what's going to happen, we can never predict the market. So if this candle came down and broke through your sell stop while you were sleeping, because the big movement usually happens anywhere from 12 p.m. till 3:30 a.m. in the morning. So while you're asleep, my software, Price Trap Trillions, is going to pick up the price on a sell because it's a sell stop, it's a pending order. And think about sell stop, it's kind of confusing, sell stop or buy stop. I'm treating you like you're beginner or intermediate, so I apologize for the advanced people, but think of it like a bus stop. If the price comes by your bus stop, it's gonna pick you up on your bus, and it's gonna pick you up for the sell. So your sell will engage, and what my software does is it will disengage your other order instantaneously as soon as this order is activated. Now, why is this so important? Well, instantly, if this is deactivated, you lose the chance of hitting 2 stop losses in the middle of the night. That's a huge feature. The other feature is not only does it deactivate, as soon as you hit your TP, and there is consider the spread. So the candle does usually go a bit past the TP, so don't get freaked out if that's the case. But once you're picked up for your sell and you go into your TP, your trade is going to close and you're going to snatch that profit. Okay? And this has been happening for me overnight, and Price Trap Trillions has been having a 70 to 85% win rate. It's been higher some nights. I've won 12 out of 12 trades some nights, and it's been really good. Okay, so it's 10:15 now. We've got tons of time till the market opens, so it's not like you don't have to feel like you're rushed, which is really great. We are done. We are done with this pair. We have some drawings here, right? But I'm gonna hop over to the next pair right now, or the next few pairs. And I'm gonna do this very quickly to show you how fast I can get this done when 10 o'clock hits, okay? So I'm measuring this trap. It's about 19 pips. 20 pips is probably the lowest you're gonna go. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna give it a bit of headroom on both sides because it is a smaller trap, and I'm gonna push start. Okay, now I'm going to move my, I'm going to move my buy stop a bit closer and my sell stop right there. So you see how I've given myself room. I've given myself about 6 or 7 pips on the either side of my trap to account for the spread and to make extra sure it's going in that direction. Okay, and I am risking I'm risking 25 pips to make 25 pips, and this is very important. I'm gonna move on to the next pair and I'm gonna talk to you while I do this because it's extremely simple. Okay, why did I do 25 to 25 pips? Oops, I don't want that. That is a 1-to-1 ratio, and if you're not risking enough, then that can be an issue as well. So if I were to have a 25 pip stop loss and I was only going for 15 pips and I lost 2 out of 4 trades, I would be negative in profit. Okay? If you do a 1-to-1 ratio, so you're risking 25 pips for 25 pips, then if you lose 2 trades and win 2 trades, you break even. Okay? And maybe I should slow down and explain that a bit more, but let me just do this here. Or I'll just continue explaining. So you see what I'm doing here, guys. Okay, I'm trapping where it's the consolidation is happening. This isn't like the prettiest consolidation, but you know, and this is a 55 pip trap. It's a little big, but I'm still doing it. So with a 1-to-2 ratio trade where you're risking 25 pips for 50 pips, and I'll just break it down on this chart. Let's say, excuse me, let's say that this is your entry and this is your stop loss. And let's change the color of this bad boy. Let's make our stop loss red. All right. And let's make our take profit green. Okay. So let's say that your stop loss was 25 pips, okay? And your take profit was 50 pips. That's a 1-to-2 ratio, okay? Because for example, you're risking 50 bucks to make 100 bucks, okay? So let's say you did 2 trades and you lost this trade and then you won the next trade. Well, you would still come out in profit if you lost one and won one with a 1-to-2 ratio, because your $100 pays for the $50 you risked on the last trade. So yeah, so right now I'm doing a 1-to-1 ratio, but I'm so confident in the software winning more than 50% of the time that with a 1-to-1 ratio, if I win 60 to 90% of the time, I'm still going to be in profit. So don't freak out if that didn't make any sense, but I'm just trying to explain that right there. So again, I'm trapping the consolidation on EURUSD, and I'm making sure that it's within a 30 to 40 to 50 pip range, and I'm moving the top of my, I'm going to make this nice and big so you can see it. I'm moving the top of my rectangle, my trap, to the top of the wick, the highest wick, and then to the bottom of the lowest wick. I'm not going back down here because that's too big of a trap for me, okay? and then I'm clicking start again. Using price trap trillions, instantly executing my buy stop and my sell stop. And I'm just making sure that it's 6 to 7 pips away, and I'm done. And then I'm moving on to the next one. I'm going to GBP/CAD. I'm trapping the consolidation, which is happening in a 30 pip range, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to be moving this a little bit higher because I'm making my trap like this because, yeah, no, this is good. This is about 25 pips. So I'm going to click start. And again, I'm going to be moving my buy stop and my sell stop around 5 to 6 or 7 pips around my price trap, and I'm heading on to the next pair. GBP/CHF. I'm literally drawing. You guys, if you can use paint on your computer, if you can draw a stick house, you can do this strategy. Okay, so I'm measuring again. This is about a 50 pip zone on GBP/CHF. I'm going to go ahead and do this as well. And you can see it's not pretty. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't perfectly pretty there because the price is way down here. So we are moving. It's about 9 pips in either direction. Yeah, I'm okay with that because this seems like to be kind of a volatile pair right now. It does seem to be moving quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to be moving on to my next pair. I'm going to go insert, shapes, rectangle. I like to have these kind of pastel-y rectangles so you can like really see through them. And I like to make things big so you guys can see what's going on. So I'm going to measure. Okay, so we're at about a 35. I'm gonna go to this candle here because that seems to be like the last real low. It's about 38 pips. Let me see. So a little bit of practice with this kind of stuff, guys, but I'm giving you kind of general rules of thumb. I'm kind of giving you a canvas that you can play with. So 31 right there, I like that because you can see these candles, we're kind of retesting that as a support zone. And I'm going to give myself a little bit of buffer on the top, tiny bit, like a pip or 2, just because that's just how I feel about it, and you guys will get feelings about stuff too. So again, this dotted line may be black on your computer. It's black on my mom's computer. I have no idea why. Again, 7 or 8 pips in either direction. Anything more than that, I mean, you can play with it if you want. You can go 5. I've just been doing this, okay? And we are on our last pair. And you can see how quickly this is here. Okay. Whoops. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. So I draw my rectangle, I measure. If it's too big, I readjust. And sometimes it's not going to be perfect. Like, some people say trap everything. This one's okay. I mean, no, I mean, it's an 80 pip kind of a last 5 candle. So it's up to you to really, to 39 pips. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to stay away from this one. And I'm going to find something else because you guys are the best and I want the best for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and pick another EUR GBP. I have that. What don't I have? GBP CAD. I have GBP CAD. GBP NZD. Yep, I have that. EUR CHF. Do I have EUR CHF? No, I don't. So I'm going to drag that onto the screen. And oh yeah, here's a tip. So when you drag on the screen, it's a really big window. Push this minimize window. Be careful not to push this minimize window because it will minimize MT4, and then it's gonna like throw it on your graph like this. So push this window right here. Boom. It's gonna automatically put it in a nice spot for you. And you see how I'm making sure that this is on the 1 hour chart. It's very important. I can instantly see that there's consolidation here because the price is moving to the right, and boom, it's in the exact same. It's within my strategy. We want the market to come to us. We don't want to force stuff. Okay, so this is my trap, and here you go. I got to drag my price trap trillions on because it wasn't on the chart. So I'm going to go load forex pairs, press OK. Then I'm going to click start. Okay, and I'm going to literally do the same thing that I did last time. 6 or 7 pips in that direction, and we are done, ladies and gentlemen. When I'm not recording and speaking to people on my computer, I do that in 10 minutes. So instead of waiting and staying up until 3:30 in the morning with this highly profitable strategy, you can put price trap trillions on it at 10 o'clock. Anywhere from literally 9:30 to 10:30, you could stay up a little bit longer because these prices do fluctuate a little bit. But you guys, I've been testing this, and it has just been great. And the other great thing that I wanted to touch on is the really great thing about this is that there's absolutely no emotion attached to your trade. And with my US 30 strategy and stuff too, like if you're sitting at the screen and watching candles, especially if you're scalping, it can be emotional. So you're asleep. So the only way it could be emotional is if you guys over leveraged. Okay. So if you had, you need to figure out how much you want to risk in your account, and you need to add up all the stop losses in pips, and then figure out your pips times your lot size, and then figure out that value, and then you have to understand how much of that is of your account. I'm sorry if that just sounded like crazy, because with me, when people tell me to do math over the phone, I just don't get it. So, and I'm actually not going to do this right now because we're going on 32 minutes. Basically, make sure that you understand how much you're risking if you're going on 8 trades. Maybe start with 2 trades, start with 4, and work your way up. I have been doing this quite some time, so that's why you see how many you see on the screen. And guys, I do 12. I scroll this. I have another monitor to the left of me, so I add another 4 onto it. And I use price trap trillions, and while I sleep, it picks up the buys or the sells for me. Do I win 100% of the time? No, I don't. You're never gonna win 100% of the time if you're a trader. If you do, you're a robot. But you're never going to win 100% of the time. But I have been testing this, and it is just working like a charm. You can use it on US 30 as well. I have a video on my YouTube channel about it, what I've been doing with US 30. But yeah, it's been allowing me to get to sleep. I'm hoping that you guys love this as much as I do. And I really wanted to do this video for you guys to really just break down exactly what I'm doing and talk a little bit about a few different things that that go along with it. There are 2 things I just remember. We're almost done this video. I know it's a long video. You need to keep track, because the time zones are not going to be in your time zone. They're where the broker is, and my broker is in Greece. Okay, so excuse me. So your account history, if you're on a Monday, or if you're on a Monday night and you do trades, then you need to keep track of like the last trades that you did, the time. Okay, because this will tell you that you did a certain amount of trades within a day, and that day is not your time zone day. So that's just one thing that I found to be something that I need to do, and that you will need to do if you want to really just get on top of MT4. So just make a note of the time that your last trades were the night previous, so that you can decipher exactly where the trades are that you made the next night. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it the best I can. Yeah, so that's obviously when you do it on your phone, it's like it shows you every day and it's super fancy and all that kind of stuff. However, your phone cannot do any of this stuff. So yeah. The next thing I wanted to say is, yes, okay, when you actually purchase and get the files, the Price Trap Trillion files, there's two really important files that you need to understand where to put them and how it works. So in order to find that folder, I go to Experts, right click and push open, and then it opens this log folder. Then I click to MQL4, okay? On some of your computers, it's going to be in like C, Program Files, MetaTrader 4, FX Choice. It was actually hard to find on my computer, and I struggled, and I finally found this out, and this is where it is. You need to drag Price Trap Trillions, the two files. One's an EX4 file and an MQL4 source file. You just drag them into this folder, Experts. You close and reopen MT4, and you'll be able to use Price Trap Trillions. If for whatever reason you drag both files into this folder and you open up MT4 and it doesn't work, there may be a slight possibility that one of these files did not get copied over. I want you to double check that both of these are. If one of them isn't, simply go back to the file that you purchased. You'll still have those two files, and then drag the corresponding one in here, okay? It's easy as pie. It's just something that happens sometimes, okay? I just wanted to be clear on that. But we are done, guys. It is 10:30. I'm tired, and I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm gonna let this software make me money while I sleep, as it has been over the last week or so. And I hope you guys see the value and see how awesome this is. I hope you guys are gonna, tweak this and have your own settings and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really hope you like this video. You guys have yourself a wonderful day/night, and I will see you in future videos. Cheers.